Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be having a look at a deconstruction Sudoku today called Kylo Ren by Melashenkos. And I am assured that Melashenkos is actually a duo, and I hope I've got this right. I think made up of a father and son, Jay and Jaden, if I'm not mistaken. I think both from California. At least I know Jaden's in California at the moment. But I thought it might be nice to do this today because, firstly, apparently it's a brilliant puzzle. I will show you the evidence of that momentarily. But also, it's Jay's 43rd birthday. So that's rather nice. And I love all things Star Wars, so I didn't need much persuading. And let me show you some of the comments on Logic Masters Germany. I just snipped them just now. And basically everyone's saying it's absolutely brilliant, including no less than Juggler at the bottom there, one of the greatest setters in the world of Sudoku. So I'm sure this is going to be a lot of fun. And I think, worked out why it's called Kylo Ren. I did read the instructions and they refer to Kylo Renban Lines, which I thought was quite funny. But also, that's like Kylo Ren's lightsaber, isn't it? That must be what's going on, I think. Anyway, I'll read the rules in a moment or two's time. 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And yeah, now I've got other birthdays to do today as well. But let me just mention a couple of other things. Mark and I, we were interviewed yesterday for TheVerge's podcast. So that might come out soon. We're very privileged to be asked to do that. And Stratford Literary Festival. I've been talking about this over the last few days. Mark and I are going to be doing a live edition of Cracking the Cryptic on the 2nd of November as part of that literary festival. We did it last year. It was great fun. If you're interested, do grab a ticket. They are going fast, and so there won't be many left. So just something you might want to consider if you're going to be in that area. What else? Crossword stuff. There was a cryptic crossword video yesterday on the channel, and on Wednesday we're starting to release a whole series of puzzles in which I do battle with what I can tell you is one of the hardest listeners in the last couple of decades. Listener crosswords are very, very tricky, and Listen by Eck definitely falls into the category of exceptionally hard. So that's going to be on Patreon middle of next week. Anything else? I don't know. Can't think. Oh, we've got more worms coming out soon as well. So some really, really cool worms. Juggler's worm, Fistimafel's worm. But they're apps. Anyway, let's move on to birthdays before I get distracted again. I'll start off by wishing Jason a very happy 50th birthday today. And Jason, I know it's your birthday because your wife Helen wrote to us and mentioned that you've been getting your daughter Amabel into Sudoku. Well, she deserves the most amazing amount of applause, frankly, because we had exam results here in the UK on Thursday, and she got 8 grade 9s and 1 grade 8 in Thursday's results. That is absolutely brilliant. I doubt that watching Cracking the Cryptic had anything to do with that. It sounds like just good genetics and hard work, but very, very well done, Amabel, and many happy returns to your father today. I hope there's chocolate cake in store. Next, over in San Francisco, Anna, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your dear friend Lauren wrote to us and told us that the two of you have known each other since elementary school, and now, Anna, I think you've just passed your bar exams, and Lauren is sort of eulogizing about the way you throw yourself into everything, from social impact law to massive knitting projects to solving Sudoku. So, Anna, it's lovely to hear. I hope you have a great birthday today, and I hope there is some chocolate cake. I think you are a chocolate lover, aren't you, if I'm not mistaken? That's correct. I mean, what else can we say? Next, Charlie. Charlie, you've turned 11 today, and I know this because your uncle, who I know as Chip Sounder, wrote to us and wanted to wish you a massive happy birthday and a massive piece of chocolate cake as well. Charlie, I hope you get that and some good presents, of course. And then finally, Georgia. Georgia, your boyfriend Dan wrote to us, and Dan was the big bad Thai boxer. I remember saying happy birthday to Dan a few months ago. But Dan wrote a few things, but I actually found this really touched me. Dan said that he was taught by his stepfather to surround himself with sails and not anchors. And he described you, Georgia, as the most amazing sail and the strongest wind as well, which I thought was absolutely lovely. And I love the idea of surrounding yourself with people who take you forward and don't drag you down. I think that's pretty profound, actually. Although Dan did say he's still working, Georgia, on getting you to solve your first Sudoku. So I hope that's coming this year. And Georgia, many, many happy returns. And with all that said and done, let's have a look at the rules. I've got to get all these papers out of my way. Let's have a look at the rules of Kylo Ren by Melashenkos. The rules are as follows. We have got a deconstruction puzzle. So within the 11 by 11 grid, there exist 9 non-overlapping 3 by 3 square regions which must be located by the solver. So they could be anywhere, we don't know, but there are 9 of them. Just as, I mean, it would be quite funny if there was, you know, if it turned out they were all just sort of in the middle of the grid, which they could be. Each region contains the digits 1 to 9 such that no digit repeats in any row, column or 3 by 3 region. So imagine this was a 3 by 3 region and this was a 3 by 3 region. Then whatever these digits are, they could not appear in those cells. I mean, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Next rule. Cells outside these regions do not contain digits, but have a value of 0. So you could see we couldn't fit a 3 by 3 region in there. So if that was not in the region, that would have a value of 0 for the purposes of the other rules that we're about to talk about. The first of which is the Kylo Renban line. Values on a purple Kylo Renban line must be a set of consecutive non-repeating values. The values may be in any order. Treat intersecting lines as a single Kylo Renban line. So I think the lightsaber, what we're being told there is that the lightsaber is one line. And are we, so I suppose, I mean, hopefully this doesn't count as solving, but what that means is that we could have a value of 0 on a line, couldn't we? So say this cell was not in any region, then the rules are telling us that has a value of 0, and that Kylo Renban line would then have to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on it in some order. Now, the next rule is that killer cages, of which there are many, values in a cage must sum to the total in the upper left-hand corner of the cage. Non-zero values may not repeat in a cage. Okay, so 0 values can. So that's very tricky, isn't it? So you could have 2 0 values in that 15 cage, providing those two then added up to 15. Thermometers, some very short thermometers, and this is the last rule. Values along a thermometer must increase from the bulb end. So, you know, whatever that is, let's make it a middly digit. If that's a 5, this just has to be more than 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So just as mercury rises in the real world when the temperature rises, so our digits rise along Sudoku thermometers as we move away from the bulb. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Do you know what the first thing I'm going to do is here? It's probably not what you're expecting, or it might be. I'm going to draw a boundary. I just like the look of a boundary around the edge here, so I'm going to draw that in. There we go. I mean, we've practically solved it now. Now, deconstruction puzzles. Let's talk about a trick that I know about deconstruction puzzles. So it's going to be probably these cells, isn't it? I think it's those. I don't know what colour we should make them. We'll make them lime green today. Now, these lime green cells are all not zeros in this puzzle. They are all in 3x3 regions. And you may say, well, how do you know that? And it's sort of a bit of a proof by contradiction. I will invite you to try and place a 3x3 region into this grid which doesn't overlap one of these lime green cells, and you'll find out you can't do it. Moreover, you'll find that any 3x3 region you do put in will overlap exactly one of these green cells. You can't quite get to a second one. So the pigeonhole principle allows us to, or applies here. We have to put 9 3x3 boxes in the grid. We know that every time we place any one of those boxes, we will overlap with exactly one lime green region. And therefore, each one of these cells must be included in the puzzle. And because let's say we'd put 8 boxes in and this one hadn't been filled, you will find that you have to overlap this one with the 9th box. And yeah, that is as straightforward as that. So you get a bit of a start with these deconstruction puzzles, but I'm just wondering what that means in the context. Okay, I've got something absolutely fatuous for you, and I'm still going to say it. The second cell on any thermometer cannot be 0, can it? So although we could put 0 in a bulb, the next digits... Oh yeah, so that thermometer's better actually, this 3-cell one. So we can definitely green all of the cells that are a bit further along thermometers than the bulb end. That one has to be in a region anyway because of the pigeonhole principle. I mean, we've got 2 cages here that only sum up to 3. In fact, look at this. We've got that cage. That has to contain some zeros in it. This cage has to contain some zeros in it. But so does that one, look. Imagine this one was all green. Then it would be populated with at least 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 1, 2, 3 and 4 are summed to 10. And 10 is more than 9. So a knowledge bomb for you. That has some zeros in it. Okay, that's all very well though. It's not really getting it done, is it? Is it this column? There's an awful lot of Kylo Renban living in that column. Well. Yeah, there's definitely something going on in this column because you can't have that many zeros in it. Yes, okay, here is a thought. Here is a thought. Let's look at those cells. So sort of a subset of the column, not this one. I'm going to only look at these. Now, there are 10 cells I've just highlighted there. So they can't possibly all be Sudoku digits. There must be at least 1 0 in those dark green cells. But could there be 2 zeros? I'm going to claim no. Because if there were 2 zeros, where would you put them? You couldn't repeat a 0 on a single line because then it wouldn't contain consecutive values. But the moment you put the set, so say you put a 0 here, the moment you put a second 0 in this column, either on this line or this line, that line will need a 1 on it. But this line's definitely going to have a 1 on it as well. So you're going to get 2 1s in the same column, and that will break Sudoku. You can repeat zeros willy-nilly in a column, but you cannot repeat ones or anything else that's not 0. So actually, hang on, let's just distill what that means. So that means, well, it means this cell that's sort of not in the puzzle, because the 9 Sudoku digits will appear in dark green, as will 1, 0. So that is absolutely hopeless. I'm sorry. Oh no, alright, it does give you one thing. It gives you one thing. Because this is a 0, that must be a digit now, mustn't it? Because this, yeah, effectively, this is a 0, 1, 2 Renban now. Yeah, that's interesting. Now this can't be a 0. Because if that's a 0, this has to be a 1. But by Sudoku, it's going to see a 1 in one of those 2 cells. So that's definitely not. That's definitely good. This is weird. This is really strange. Okay. I mean, yeah, I think the 0 has to be on this one. That might be wrong, but that's my gut reaction. Because imagine the 0 was up there somewhere. Oh no, it is wrong. It's wrong. No, I am wrong. Sorry. It could be here. If that's 0, 1, that could be a 2, couldn't it? And then we could still add up to 3 with a 2 and a 1 there. Oh, my phone's buzzing at me. Okay, so I don't really know what to do with that then. I mean, definitely that one can't have 0 on it, because then that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and this would be a real digit that's at least a 4. So that one, okay, so that means that's entirely green. That's definitely a good deduction. I mean, it's not a clever deduction by me, but it's a clever piece of setting by Jay and Jaden. Okay. Okay, here's another thought. How could that be a 0? If that's a 0, this has to be green, but that would mean that whole line was meant to be, because that would be a 3x3 box, and that would obviate the ability of this to be a 0. So that's definitely green. Yes, and that's got to be part of a region. So how could this and this not be green? That's impossible. If this is dark, if this is a black cell, there's a 3x3 region that's only got 2 columns in it. That's nonsense. So, right. So this is entirely natural. This 16 cage. Now, what does that mean? There has to, okay, this 3 cage has got a 1 or a 2 in it, so it's got to have another green cell in it, but only one green cell. Oh, nah, I still can't get to the point where I'm convinced about. So maybe a better way is, can this be a 0-1 pair? Then this would be 2, this would be 1, this would be 2. Oh, hang on, look, I've got the same point I've just done there, I could do here, look. This cell is part of a 3x3, and however that grows, those 2 must be in, and that's going to be interesting for this cage. That's a 10 cage. 10 cage in 4 cells has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a thermometer. So that, okay, so we can't put 1 in the tip, or 4 in the bulb, we will break the ordering of the thermometer. 4, in fact, can't be as a given digit here, which I hardly ever notice. So that's a 4. This is a very low number on a 4-cell Renban. So that could have a 0 on it. I like this. This is really, it's a very different puzzle actually to how deconstructions normally work. I don't think I'm covering myself in glory with how I'm solving it, but it's sort of, you can pick away at different little bits of logic. Yeah, okay, how could this be a 0? If that's a 0, this is green then, but that green would have only one width, wouldn't it? If that was a 0 and this was green, that couldn't possibly be a 3 by 3, so that's definitely green. Oh, okay, this is right. So what we can do is work on this column, because now we can actually just say, look, there's a 3 by 3 at the top that must extend in these 3 rows, and now there's a second 3 by 3 starting there, so that's got to go down 3 cells. So now there isn't a 0 on here, which means the 0 in column, whatever this is, 1, 2, 3, is it column 8, 9, 10? Yeah, column 8. The 0 is in one of those cells, and only one of those cells, and therefore there is a line in here of 3 greens, 3 rows which were going to be contiguous. You can't have 2 rows there and 1 there, can you? That's not going to make a 3 by 3. So both of those are definitely not 0s. The 0 is either, probably it's going to be there, isn't it? But this line is a 1, 2, is 0, 1, 2, 3. And the 0s are not there. And that can't be a 3 because we know that this is not 0. So that felt like the first time I've actually done anything remotely reasonable. Now that cell is, again, that's got to start a 3 by 3 going to the west, doesn't it? So there's a 3 by 3 that's sort of here. Oh, we don't know about this one. Okay, so we got a green cell here, didn't we? Okay, that's very exciting for the following reason. Come on, brain. Come up with something. Okay, maybe we've got to actually think about the maths of this column then. So these digits are all quite large now, aren't they? So this domino is it's either going to have the 4 on it, and it's going to be 4, 5, or the 4 is going to be on this one, which will make this one 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be 8, 9. So this is either 4, 5 or 8, 9. Now if it's 8, 9, this 15 cage is getting quite cluttered up. Well, especially as that digit is at least a 4. So if that is... No, I think it's still okay, just about. Depends whether this one is a funny digit or not, a 0. Okay. That's at least a 4. Is that a 0? It would be a very cluttered 0, wouldn't it? No, this can't be a 0. But that's a little weird. That's a very strange point. Let me just show you how yeah, no, I am right. It's the way the 3 by 3s would propagate out from it. Let me show you what I mean. You'd have a 3 by 3 here. You'd have a 3 by 3 here. And this is a green cell, so you'd have a 3 by 3 there. And now this little cell can't be part of a 3 by 3. It's only got 1 row of space. So that's green. Yeah, but that's I mean, we know this digit is at least a 3, but that doesn't mean this digit is at least a 4. This could go backwards again. This could be a 1 or a 2, providing it was the same as this one. It might be that the whole trick was to consider this 2 by 2, but it just doesn't look appetizing to do that, because why couldn't that be a 0? Oh, I've just noticed I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 9. So that thermometer bulb is at least a 4. 5, 6. Ooh, no, I'm not. I think that's overkill to pencil mark that. Although I know a man who would. Okay, let's try something else then. How about this one? You see, if either of those is a 0, the zeros are going to go straight. Yeah, that can't. Yeah, oh, actually, it's quite complicated again, but that can't be a 0. Because if it's a 0, these two are both 0, and this digit is a 1. 0, 1 on the Renban. But this will be a 1-2 pair. And neither of these could then be a 1 because of the 1 there. So that doesn't work. So that's definitely green. Now, does that work logic? Yeah, that logic works the same way here. If that was a 0, then this would have to be a 0, this would be a 1, and one of these would be a 1, but by Sudoku, this cell sees this in its row and this in its column, so that also doesn't work. So this is also green. Now, can we somehow replicate that logic? So any time you can only ever put 1 0 on any of these Renbans. But if you do, they've definitely got 1 on them. And is that necessarily a bad thing? I still feel like I'm not quite grasping like a crucial part of how the logic fits together on this one. Yeah, okay, the same point applies here, doesn't it, for a different reason. These little Renban lights, you don't think they can be any use through sort of experience has taught you that this is effectively a white Crocky dot and we can basically ignore it until the last stages of the puzzle, but here that's not true. If this cell is 0, this is a 0, and both of those have to be 1s, and that's there in the same column, so that is not possible. Now, can we keep, so those two, is that a bad thing or a good thing? If this is a 0, that would be a 0. If this is a 0, this would be a 1, 2. That would be a... The thing is, the 9 in there could just be a 9 on its own, couldn't it? Ah, hang on. I've got lots of real estate in column 9. 1, 2... No, I haven't. I haven't got enough. Well, I sort of do. I sort of do. I don't think this cell can be in the puzzle. Because if that was in the puzzle, that would be a region, that would be a region, and then I'd have too many digits in the column. So that's not in the puzzle, which means these two aren't in the puzzle. Now this is definitely in the puzzle. So, what does that mean is a question that we must now ask ourselves. I feel like that is doing something. I feel like these columns are all cluttered now. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Could we fit a region in here? 2, 3, 4. I mean, we certainly could. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. If that was, obviously that would make that a region, which would be quite sensible. Or is it? I mean, if this cell here, if that is green, it's going to have to be the other side. It's going to have to be bigger than 1, 2, or 3, isn't it? So it would be at least a 4. But would that matter here? Yeah, I see. There's a different way of looking at this. If either of these was 0, let's imagine either of those is 0, then what is the nature of this 4-cell line? It must be 0, 1, 2, 3. But with these being the 0, so this would be a green 1, 2, or a 3, which cannot exist in the puzzle there because this cell sees 1, 2, and 3. So both of those are green, and now this box is getting really interesting. No jokes about me. Oh, no, but different point. That is the start of a new westward-facing region, so that's a region. So now, that cell is definitely not a region. But that doesn't mean that these are green, because in deconstruction puzzles, you don't have to have 9 cells in any particular row or column. You can do, but you don't have to have. So we can't assume anything there. I mean, if this was green, this would be a 4-cell 11 cage. It would be 1, 2, 3, 5. And I can't see a problem with that. It doesn't mean there isn't a problem. It just means I can't see the problem. Okay, I'm not sure. And maybe it's this box that's the real trick to it all. Obviously this could only have 2 green cells in it maximum, but it could have 3 black cells in it. If that's green, then that is a black cell. Is that a problem? That would be a region. That would be a region. I don't know. I feel like there might be an issue with that, but I don't know what it is. But if that was green, this would be a 1, 2 pair. That would be a 0. I'm not sure. I just don't know. What about... Oh, the given digit takes 4 out of that one. That takes 5 out of that one, I suppose. Yeah, maybe there's some way we know this isn't a 4. Or... It can't be more of these tiny little Renbans, can it? Can it really be that? Okay, let's think about it. I mean, I don't think it is, but I'm going to try. If that is a 0, obviously that is a 0 then. Obviously this is a 1. Now, then the question is, do we care? And the answer is, well, there's going to be a region that comes here, isn't there? That's framed, so that would be a region. Oh, hang on, that doesn't work. Oh, why couldn't I see that more easily? That's weird. Yeah, do you see what I mean? It's very difficult because I know that this is all part of the same region. If that region is bounded there, that is a box, and this cell is a big problem. It cannot exist. So actually, that is a real cell. Now, does that work there as well? Now, yeah, it does. It's the same point actually. So all of a sudden I've got more in this column than I ever had any right. Oh, right, okay. Let's look at the 9 cage now then, because I know something's got to be zeroed in that. But presumably I'm going to run into the same issue, in the sense that if both of these are not zeroed, don't I have an issue? I feel like I do. So imagine that is green. Yeah, I'm going to squash either up or down, because if this is green, this can't exist. It can't have 3 rows. And if we do it the other way round, this can't exist. It's not going to have enough rows. So both of those have to be black, because it's not possible that they're both green. So this 9 is made up of 2 cells. Those 2 add up to 9. And oh, I tell you what, that's a region now. So we've actually got our first region. That's taken a little while to find, but we have got one. And now obviously that's got to be part. I don't know whether this goes into the corner or not. Although I do. This is really clever. Not of me. I feel I have been the opposite of clever so far. But this is a 1, because that has a value of 0, so this is a 1. Now how could that not be in the puzzle? If this is a 0, there would be a 1 in one of those cells. So that's in the puzzle. This is in the puzzle. That is a region. And now I get another region as a bonus. That is all in a region. There. Now look at this cell. That's got to go west. That's got to go west. I don't know whether this is in the region or not. But everything I've done there is relatively sensible. Now, I don't know what it means yet, but I'm excited about it. Okay, so there is a region that's ending there, and then this cell is going to be part of a westward region. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? If that cell is green, hang on. This is I've got something huge. It's really obvious as well. Look, that's a green cell, and there's a 1 and a 2 in its region, and that's in the 3. That's got to be a 3, and it's got to be the only cell in that. All of those have to turn that. So these are out. Whoa, that's got to be an enormous. That feels like that's a huge point. I may prove to be wrong, but that feels like it's a real deduction. Oh, I've spotted something beautiful here. This puzzle's really well set. Look at this digit. What's its value? Now the answer is I don't know exactly, but I can see it's not 1, 2, or 3, so it's at least 4. But look at this cage now, this 15 cage. This is at least 4. This is at least 4. Because remember when we looked at this, we knew that 0, 1, 2, and 3 can't go on it. Now how do we make 15 if we can't put 0s, 1s, 2s and 3s in these 3 cells? The only way is if they're 4, 5 and 6. So they must be 4, 5 and 6, and the only option for that is 4. So that makes that 5, that's 6. This can't be 4 because of the given, so that's a 6. Oh, this is stunning. This is stunning. Now, that is 7, 8, 9. Which is potentially interesting. Come on, brain. You did something good there. Find something else. Bad brain. Naughty brain. It's not telling me anything. Ah, no, it is. That is a 0. I don't know. Do you think I have to put 0s in the black cells to make the solution work or not? I don't know. We'll see it. We'll see at the end if we get to the end. But this cell now is a 0. So the lightsaber must be all proper digits, mustn't it? 1, 2, 3, and 5, because 4's already appeared. Now that is not 3 or 5. That is not 5. That one. There's a 1, 2, 3 triple now in the column. So this square has to be the same. Those 2 digits are the same. We'll give that. We'll just label those A for a moment. And all of these, of course, therefore are green. That's the nature of things. Now, well, this one has to go west, and this one can't go west any further. So that is a boundary, and that is a boundary. And there's a new... Oh, actually, this looks like I might have made a boo-boo here. Can I still fit in all of the necessary boxes? Because I've got an absolute massive amount of space at the top there that's just totally empty. Okay, those have got to go down. That's got to not be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, no, there is space. There is space still. That's a relief. I was... Oh, I tell you something. This is another lovely point. Look at this digit. What is that? And the answer is, as usual, I haven't got a clue, except it is not one of 1, 2, 3 and 5. So how could this be green? If this is green, this has to be 1, 2, 3, 5, but this can be none of them, so that's definitely not a digit. Oh, I thought that was going to do something. I mean, this has got to be green, because this has got to come down. So, I don't know what to do now. Oh, bother. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I should look at that digit. That can be 4, 7, 8. It can't be 9, because this can't be low enough. If the lowest this can be is a 1, 2 pair, that's 3, isn't it? So the maximum this can be is 8. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Sorry. And if this is green, how do we do this? This is where I get this sensation, the devil on my shoulder, looking over is going, they all know, you don't know, you're too stupid to do the puzzle, I'm going to chirp away in your ear, make you feel bad, naughty devil, shh. Okay, alright, come on, let's focus. What can we do? Right, here is a tiny little point. Those digits by Sudoku are 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s, look. They see 5, 6, they see 7, 8, 9. So in this column, I've got all of the low digits. So if anything down here is green, it has to be 7, 8, 9. So this can't possibly be green. That would not work. So this can't possibly be green. And now this is going down to the bottom of the grid. And we know that's effectively box 9. I suppose box 9 could be like that, though. Well, hang on, it has to be. It has to be, because this isn't a 3. So I need 2 cells in here that work. So that's got to be green. It's not 0. So that is 0. Well, actually, I'm not labelling my zeros yet, am I? So this is 1, 2, 3. So, and that is a corner of the puzzle. So that is a box that lives down in the sort of southeast, and again an enormous raft of zeroage is occurring. That's got to be green now, because that must be part of this one, or this must be part of that one, is probably a better way of putting it. This is a 1-2 pair. And the upshot of that is going to be something. I'm sure something. I am sure something, probably. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. How do we do this? No, what I was about to say is total and utter gibberish, so I'm not saying it. I refuse. Oh, no, it's not actually. It's not actually. Where's 3 in what I was going to think of as column 5, but I guess it is. It's not. It's column 6 in this puzzle. Where's 3 in that column? Because it's not there, because there's a 3 in this little triple. It's not there because of that 3. So it's in one of those, but there's a 3 there and a 3 there. Because of these 1, 2, 3 triples. So I think that's a 3. Now, that's just an abysmal deduction, isn't it? Is there a reason that can't be 7, 8, 9, for example? Because if that's green, that is 7, 8, 9. It actually looks quite likely, doesn't it? And it doesn't work the same way. If this is green, on the other hand, you can do law of leftovers type tricks. I'm trying to see a good place to look for that. Yeah, you can actually. Yeah, okay. Look at. Let's switch tack. Let's look at the final few columns from a sort of law of leftovers perspective. What do I mean by law of leftovers? Well, I want to look at this box, and this box. I'm just going to highlight them quickly. Now, those blue cells there, we can absolutely state with certainty what the total contents of those 3 boxes are, can't we? Because each box is going to contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. So those blue cells are 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9, indisputably. So remember that those 3 boxes. Actually, I'll just do it with a different colour. Now I'm going to highlight some more cells. Now I'll highlight those 2 columns in red. Now those 2 columns of the grid, they've both got 9 cells in. They've all got to be different digits. So those red cells are 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So the difference between the blue set of digits, which was 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9, and the red set of digits, which is 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9, is 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. Now look at these cells in blue. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this must be 7, 8, 9. And that looks interesting for that Renban, but now I'm going to have to work out how to remove all my colours. Hang on. So I want to remove that remove that. There we go. So this digit, well, this can't be 9, actually, or 8, can it? Because if it's 9 or 8, there's going to be a 7 in one of those cells, yet we know that's a 7, 8, 9 triple, so that's got to be 7. This has to be 5 and 6. This is not 7s anymore. 5 and 6 is 11, 12. This is a 4 by maths. That is now not a 4. These two squares are a 2, 3 pair, so that's not a 2, 3 pair, or a 7 there. Now, has that done anything? Is the question. And the answer is I don't know. It might have done. I don't know. I'm not sure. 4. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. That cell is no longer a 4 even. So that's at least 5. So we're 5, 6, 7ing it. I am prepared to pencil mark that. That's only 3 digits in each position. I rather suspect that there is some trick I can do with all these Renbans in box thingy. Thingy being the technical term for box. What is that? Box 6? Is that how we're going to describe this? Possibly. Can we do some sort of trickery here? And the answer to that is I'm not sure. I mean, it looks to me like this wants to be a 1, 2, 3 Renban. I don't think that breaks up here. And then this digit would have to be a bit of a bigger digit. I mean, that can't be a 2, 3 pair, can it? Oh yeah, okay, that's quite interesting. Hang on, what pair is valid on this tiny little... The job that these tiny Renbans has done in this puzzle, it's weird. It's really, it's very interesting. Okay, this can't be 1. It hasn't got 1 on it by Sudoku. It can't be a 2, 3 pair. That's going to break this. It can't be a 3, 4 pair. That's going to break that. And it can't involve 4, 5 or 6. So the absolute minimum this is a 7, 8 pair. And it can't be. Well, this digit is 7. Because if this digit was 8, this would be a 1, and the 1 can't go there. Is that really true? That feels right, doesn't it? 7, 8, 2, 2, 3. Now, these digits are... Well, one of these is 9, and that's not going on the Renban. So this is a 1, 3 pair, which is we know the order of. This is a 2, so we can take 2 off the lightsaber. That might be helpful. I'm desperately trying to see why. That 2 is useful. That's going to get me a 1 on there. So now this is 1, 3, 4, and this is 5, 6, 2. This is not 3. This is not 1. This is not 1. So that's 3 on the sort of on the handle of the lightsaber. So that's 5. That's 1. We can't repeat digits. Now, what do we need? 7 and 8 into this row. Whatever row is that? Row 6. It might be. I'm not sure. Yeah, so actually that leftovers point was really quite profound, wasn't it? Now we can take 9 out of here, so we take 8 and 7 of their respective points. In fact, that seems to be a 6. Therefore, this is a 5. Therefore, this is a 6. This is a 5. So we've got a 7-8 pair and a 4-9 pair left to place in column 10. And can we do anything else? Yeah, we can use the 3 gauge. If that's a 2, that's definitely a 1. That's fair, isn't it? That must be correct. So now in the original 1, 2, 3 triple, we've got a 1 in one of. Oh, hang on, that's a 2. I've just noticed. So this is a 2. This is a 3. This is a 3. This is a 1. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for my. If this was real now, no, see that. It feels like I must be able to get rid of a 1, 2 pair here. But I'm not actually sure I can. I mean, if that... Hang on. If that's green, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6. It would have to be 4. Oh, maybe it can be. I don't know. That doesn't feel right, does it? Okay, I can't see how to do that. I'm sorry. If it's obvious to everybody, I do apologise. Oh, I tell you what we will do then. What we can do, which is quite cute, how could this cage, how could the top left corner of this cage be there? Then the cage would do that, and this digit would then be at least a 7, because it would have 4 in the cage, well, 4 in its 3 by 3 box with it, and that cannot be 7. 3, 7, 4, 5, 6 would need to be on the line. So I think we have to go west, and that's going to. The thing is, I'm not sure that's going to give me this digit, and whether it's green or not. It does mean 5. Look, is in one of those cells by Sudoku of all things. So that might matter. He says a little desperately. Oh goodness, I don't know. I don't know. Is it? No, I don't think it is. It's not to do with. Oh, sorry, I'm getting lost in the weeds here. I'm trying to find a quick way of working out how this line works, and I'm just not seeing it, and it's infuriating. I'm sure for you more than it is for me, even. All right, let's try Sudoku. If in doubt, we'll try Sudoku. Those squares are 6, 8, 9. That's actually not 6, is it? So there is a 6 over there for what that's worth. So this thermometer, again, the short thermometer might be doing work here. Because what on earth are we putting on this thermometer? It can't, by Sudoku, it can't contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So the minimum the bulb is a 7. So it's got this configuration, and therefore we know that one's a 7. Oh, so these are a 6, 8, 9 triple, and these are 3 and 4, and I can do the order because of that 4 down there. So that's whoopsie, that's 4, that's 3. This is a 4 by Sudoku. 4, 1, 3. That's just getting resolved. There's an 8, 9 pair in that row, so that's a 7. And okay, well that was a win for the goodies, wasn't it? Now can we repeat that trick somehow? 7. Yeah, I mean this digit, I don't know what it is, but it's going to go down there in box 7. So 7 in this box has to be in one of those 3 cells. Which, hang on, is that really true? Yeah, I tell you what we might do here. We might use that law of leftovers thing again. Those cells, that's 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9. These 3 boxes are 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So we know that this is an extra set of the digits 1 to 9, don't we? So let's just quickly bluify it. I'm just wondering if I can get a handle on these 2 digits somehow. But maybe I can't. I mean, obviously, if this is 8, that has to be a 1-2 pair. With that being a 3, that looks really likely, doesn't it? I mean, if there wasn't a 1 and a 2 here, what would there be? Because these couldn't include 3, 4, or 5. So the minimum they would have on them then is a 6. And if I do put 6 on them, the way that you close the gap to the 3 would be 6, 4, 5. And then these have got too big. Even if it's 6, 4, this can't be a 1. So the only thing this can be is a 1-2 pair, I am going to allege. Given that they can't include 3, 4 or 5, they definitely cannot have a higher digit, because the Renban will break it. So this is a 1-2-3 triple now, and this has to be consecutive with that. But that's not good, because it means it can be 0 or 4, and I still don't know. But I do know that that is an 8, and that's a 7, and that's an 8, and that's a 9. Oh, this is good. So we're getting a little bit of work done. This is an 8. That's a 9. And now we can use the blue cells to get these cells, can't we? They've got to be 6, 7, 9. So we'll put that in. Now we know these squares are 5 and 8, and we know the order. Now this column needs a 7 and a 9 in it. And now we're going to get these digits, which are 5 and 6. And we've got the thermometer to tell us the order. This 2 is telling us that's a 2 and that's a 1. The box logic here gives us a 4. I'm almost certain that we mustn't. That's not a 6. We might be able to use some leftover trickery to work out this, I think. But let me just mull this for a second or two first. I've got a 9 there, so that's 9. And that's 8, so that's 9, and that's 8. This isn't 2. That whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. I didn't mean to do that. That's not 2. That's not 5. And that's not 6. Ah, that one is 2. So that's 6. That's 5. And all we've got to do now is figure out. I still don't know where this final thingamajiggy goes. I feel like I'm being. If it goes there, oh, we can get these 2 digits, can we? Is that the point? 7, 8. Oh yeah, that's interesting. So I've got a 7, 8 pair here. So this isn't 7. Yeah, that's what does it actually. Because if we did extend green this way, this column, this would be a 7, 8, 9 triple to finish the column off, and that would clash with the 7, 8 there. So these, I mean, hasn't that's held up? It's held up till the very end. It's really unusual in these deconstruction puzzles for the logic to resist for that long. This is a very, very well set puzzle. Now that has to be 4 in order to make the Renban work. And if you look at this row, we haven't put 7, 8 and 9 in it. So that's the 9, that's the 7, that's the 7, that's the 8, that's the 7, that's the 8, that's the 4, that's the 9, that's the 6, that's a 9. And it's all just... oh, I thought I'd made a error. I was like, oh, this is a 1-2 pair and that wouldn't work, but it's not. That's a 1, that's a 5, and this is a 2, and that's a 6, and that's a 7, and that's a 9 by Sudoku. That is a very clever puzzle. And it's worked, hasn't it, I think, which suggests it's probably correct. Yes, very, very nice indeed. Kylo Ren has been mastered by Simon Ray Anthony. There we go. We managed to get through it. Thank you very much to birthday boy Jay and son Jaden. better known in the Sudoku world from now on as Melashenkos. That was very, very cool. I enjoyed it very much. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.